What's your biggest pet peeve with, especially I guess with new talent, or maybe just someone you've never worked before contacting you?
Well, I mean, there's quite a few pet peeves in my job, but when it comes to when new people contact me, if we say, send us your information, send us links to videos, and then right after they send them, 5 minutes later, they're sending like 3 more emails. Like, did you receive this? Have you checked it out? What'd you think? And it's kind of like, hey, I got an inbox full of these. It's not going to be a snap thing. I try to say it can be weeks before I can really get to it. On top of the stacks of DVDs I bring home with me sometimes to watch, it's hard to get to watching everybody's clips. Oh, it's only 5 minutes. Well, yeah, if you add that up to 100 submissions in a week, it's a lot of time watching clips. So I think it's just not being patient. A lot of guys think, oh, bookers sit around and twiddle their thumbs, and they don't realize that you take a 5-minute phone call, you get off and have 40 emails and 7 voice messages. It's hard to get back to everybody. But yeah, I guess just being impatient just really irritates me.
Well, I gotta admit, I was one of those comics starting out where I would send something to somebody and hound them, like, have you seen it? That whatever. And I think every comic needs to book their own show at some. Because once I started getting into putting together my own shows and doing things like that, I didn't see it on the level that you see it on, but I got a taste of what it's like to be contacted by people you don't know, wanting on shows and things like that, and asking you to see their stuff and all this other crap. And I think that's what made me more patient and respect what goes on the booking side more, because there has to be that balance of comedians do this and bookers do that. And I think more is that your pussy?
Yeah, that's my dog.
Oh, that's a dog. Okay.
Yeah, it's a dog. You can't even whining. Can't see him on thing. That's nice.
And just so people know, Eric is not this pixelated in person. Does
it look that bad?
No, it's
like a $10 webcam. That for like 15 years.
But no, I think it's more comics need to spend time and try to put together their own shows before they even contact a booker.
I wish comedians could sit in an office with a day for a booker, or at least have some experimental closing. I don't think they, I think they just think we're just blowing a bunch of smoke up their ass, when we say how busy things get. But I mean, besides the amount of stuff that come in from comedians, it's like, we have requests from our clubs, and we're putting in bids on and offers on bigger name acts. We're trying to negotiate, there's a lot more going on than just sitting there waiting for a new comedian to contact us, and I think if comedians, I've heard from comedians who just booked like, a local gig that went monthly and said, I get it, I get flooded for this, like 1 monthly show. It's like, take that, times 70 on a weekly basis. It's insane. It's a lot of hard work, and it means, working a lot more than 9 to 5, and 7 days a week. So
I think it's excruciating. And another reason I think people like you are needed is because when I'm putting together shows, if I hate, I guess you could say I kind of hate being the dick when there's somebody contacting me wanting to be on a show and I don't think they're ready to be on the show, or I don't think they fit with the show. I have a hard time kind of saying no. Even though I'll say no, I have a hard time saying no. Whereas you can look at it and you can say no, hell no. You're able.
Yeah. I try to be more compassionate about it than hell no, but I at least try to give them a reason why, or what I feel like isn't there. I can't say that there aren't submissions or even like comics we worked with a long time ago but don't work with a lot now. I can't say there aren't times that they fall through the cracks. You know, I'll have an email mark to get back to somebody and stuff piles up, and I might remember a month later, you know, or something. Like, it happens, but I at least try to give people a reason why, you know, why am I not getting more regular work? Well, you know, this is kind of the feedback we've gotten in the past from you know, from comedians and club owners. Like, these are the comments, and I always am willing to share that with them so they know why and they don't feel like they're just getting blown off. But yeah, I mean, it is tough. When I first started, you know, you want to be everybody's buddy. You know, you want them to like you and stuff. But I'm glad that I was given guidance by somebody as experienced as my dad, and you know, in an agency that's been around for so long. It helped me to get through that fast. You know, I think a lot of comedians that start booking their own show get big egos quick. Because now they're not only are they the talent, but now they get to choose who else is talented, you know, and I think it's a tough role for you guys, having, you know, friends that are comedians and knowing how hard the process is to get booked and kind of being in the middle of that. I think that's why it's important to have an agency that can come in and that has all the experience and the contacts and the routing and all that. It's nice for a comedian to be able to put on a regular show, but if they don't have the resources for promotion and everything, it can just put a bad taste in places' mouths, and it can ruin comedy in the market if they don't really do it right. So
yeah, well, that's even when I was the most I'd taken on at one time. I was doing one room once a month, and it was great, but it got into, I guess, about the fourth or fifth month, and then it's kind of like, wait, who's going to headline after this? You know, because you know, I didn't always have the resources like y'all have, and but it's a good challenge. I don't think it gave me an ego over any other comedian, because if it did, I probably had a bad show the next week that just took me back down. You know, but
right.
But I think that booking is something that every comic watching this needs to do on their own, especially if they're not getting booked by, you know, you guys or whoever else.
Yeah, I mean, if you love comedy and you love being a comedian, but you're not, you know, quite in with all the agencies, or you're not getting regular work, structure something on your own. You know, try it. Even if it starts out as an open mic, you know. Doesn't mean you need to start some awesome regular weekly 250 seat, you know, venue that sells out every week. You know, it's really just about having a chance to perform and learn the inner workings of dealing with a club or a bar. It's not easy. Club owners, you know, they're on the same level of comedians about, you know, having their wants and needs and trying to work with both of them. And you know, my dad always said from the beginning, you know, treat the comedians with the same respect you treat with anybody that you're working with. You know, the club owner. I think there's a lot of agencies and bookers out there that the club owner's wants and needs are the high priority, and the comedians are just a commodity that you toss around. And that's something I learned right away off the bat was, you know, we're all on the same level. We're all in this together. So.
Well, that's good. And speaking of 250 seat club, how big? I hear the new club y'all are getting ready to open is going to be huge.
Well, it's not going to be huge, but it's going to be considerably more well-sized than our other one was. So the other one we were, you know, blocked views in some places. It cut down our size. I mean, you saw it. You know, so it's going to be more spacious, spread out, and higher end. What
was the last one? Did it seated about what 50 or what?
It was supposed to be 199.
Oh, okay.
And we did squeeze that in there for, you know, opening weekend, Bobcat Goldthwait, and we were pretty close to the 199. We had the showcases, yeah, I mean. Typically, when we made it real comfortable and spread out, it was more like 150, 160.
So. See, I like the last place. I know there were some minor conflicts there with the view, like with the the column and things like that. But I thought it was great